Hello, my wonderful Shigga pets. My name is Shiggy, and I don't know how many of you guys know this, but I consider myself to be a bunny girl on all levels, but physical. The thing is when I say bunny girl, I don't mean this. A girl dressed in a sexy bunny costume. No, when I say bunny girl, I mean this. A girl with bunny-like features. Now, saying this frequently got me wondering, why is it when we say bunny girl, this is the first thing that pops into mind, but when we say cat girl, this is? This question literally kept me up one night, so I did research, and this is what I found out. Now, let me start out by saying that these are not the only images there are of bunny girls and cat girls in modern pop culture. They are, however, the most stereotypical and have become famous tropes. Now, both bunny girls and cat girls, as well as other non-human beings, including objects and even concepts, are all forms of what is called moe anthropomorphism. For those of you who don't know, moe is a term used for manga or anime that usually has the cute girls doing cute things description, like the girls in K-On!, for example. And anthropomorphism is when you give human characteristics to something that isn't human. Think of characters like Cat in the Hat, Joy, Cogsworth, or the Gingerbread Man. Now, in moe anthropomorphism, the anthropomorphs are given typical moe features: large eyes, small mouth, small nose, flat face, etc., as well as accessories that emphasize their original form before being anthropomorphized. This can include collars, hair ties, hair color, weapons, you get the idea. Now, most forms of moe anthropomorphism started in doujins or fan-created works. However, kimono mimi did not. Kimono mimi is a form of moe anthropomorphism that literally translates to animal ears. It's the umbrella where all of our animal girl fantasies fall into. It typically shows human and human-like characters with animal ears and sometimes a tail. Now, cat girls and cat boys are by far the most prolific forms of kimono mimi. However, literally any animal you can think of probably has a kimono mimi version of it drawn somewhere. God, I love the internet! And a notable franchise that features kimono mimi is Kimono Friends. Kimono Friends is a story about many endangered or extinct animals, along with some cryptids and legendary creatures who have been anthropomorphized into cute girls. Now, since we've had a nice vocabulary lesson, let's get into what Elon Musk cares about: cat girls. Now, the oldest mention of a cat girl comes from a Japanese Edo period exhibition where a cat-woman hybrid was displayed, and the trend continued its popularity throughout the Edo and Showa periods. In the modern era, the first example was shown in 1924 in the novelist and poet of children's literature Kenji Miyazawa's book Senzuki no Yoka, or The Fourth of Narcissus Month. She was depicted as a beautiful woman with cat ears. This was followed by a resurgence in popularity in 1936 within kamishibai, or Japanese street theater, where a narrator would set up on a street corner and would tell the story of some illustrated boards that they would set up on a miniature stage. And apparently, cat girls were popular characters in these tales. Across the ocean, the American DC Comics character Catwoman made her first appearance in 1940, followed closely by Cheetah in 1943. This introduced Western audiences to the beginning of the catgirl trope, at this point being girls who dressed up as cats. Catwoman originally started out wearing a furry, realistic cat mask, while Cheetah made her costume of a real cheetah rug. 3 years later, Catwoman changed her mask to the partial one with cat ears that we know today. The 60s and early 70s saw the rise of Josie and the Pussycats, which was an American comic book series turned into a cartoon where an all-girl pop group dressed in leopard print leotards replete with long tails and ears for hats. In 1978, cat girls were brought further into the limelight in Japan with the shoujo manga Wata no Kunihoshi, or The Star of Cottonland, by Yumiko Oshima. Oshima is actually credited to be the one who actually created the catgirl trope as we know it today, because the main character of this story is a kitten who believes she is a human girl, and her looks fall more in line with those that match our idea of a catgirl today. She looks like a little girl, but has cat ears. In the 80s, the sexualization of catgirls began by turning these previously more moe, cutesy kittens into more adult, suggestive cats. In 1984, the original anime Bagi, the Monster of Mighty Nature was released. The main character is a human mountain lion hybrid that is closer to a typical furry character than that of the classic catgirl trope, but was one of the first art forms that began showing something close to a cat mixed with a woman while being purposefully sexy. At least 3 more anime featuring your typical sexy cat girls aired in the 80s: Toei, Outlanders, and Dominion. By the 1990s, catgirls were a common sight in Japanese anime and manga and began blowing up even outside of Japan. In his 2009 paper, Otaku, Japan's Database Animals, Hiroki Azuma argued that while some otaku's sexual expression involves catgirl imagery, few otaku have the sexual awareness to understand how such imagery can be perceived as perverted. Hey Azuma, I'm pretty sure we prefer to be called cultured. And in the 2010 paper by T.A. Noonan, and I kid you not, this is the title: I Can't Get Excited for a Child, Ritsuka. Intersections of Gender Identity and Audience Ambiguity in Yun Koga's Loveless. That's a philosophy paper title if I've ever heard of one. Noonan argued that in Japanese culture, catgirl characteristics have a similar role to that of the Playboy bunny in Western culture, serving as a fetishization of youthful innocence. And speaking of Playboy bunnies, the iconic bunny girl costume was designed by the American fashion designer Zelda Wynne Valdez in 1960 and made its formal debut at the opening of the first Playboy Club. Yes, that Playboy. Hugh Hefner admitted that the famous bunny costume was a special reference to the sexual reputation of rabbits. The very first appearance of the stereotypical bunny girl was shown in anime in 1983 in Gainax's Daikon 4 opening animation, where a girl wearing, and stop me if this sounds familiar, a bodice, stockings, heels, cuffs, bunny ears, and a bunny tail fights monsters, mechas, and more. Gainax's early creations featured popular images and icons from its time, Playboy being included. So, from the very beginning of bunny girls being an anime, this has been their image. Bunny girls, unlike cat girls, have not had the same amount of time to evolve into something very different. There are differentiations in or variations of bunny girls in more recent anime. In 2016, the manga Beastars has a literal bunny girl, much like the woman mountain lion hybrid in Bagi, the Monster of Mighty Nature, who is frequently looked down upon and sexually objectified just because of her species. In an opposite vein, Mai from Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai dresses in a bunny girl outfit in public of her own volition to confirm that she really cannot be seen by anyone. She wears it as a form of empowerment and not to be seen as sexy since nobody can see her. Depictions of bunny girls capitalize on the juxtaposition of innocence and sexuality, creating moe in the form of cute bunny ears paired with a sultry, all-revealing outfit. Similar to catgirls, the use of a domestic animal emphasizes sweetness and approachability. However, unlike predatory cats, the specific image of a rabbit implies a certain amount of helplessness and fragility. These symbolic traits create a more predator and prey dynamic between the character and the audience, one which may have been particularly effective as a way to fulfill sexual fantasies. So, there we have it. Catgirls have had centuries to evolve into the trope we know them as today. Bunny girls, on the other hand, were introduced the way we still see them now, and are just starting their evolution. Where will bunny girls go from here? Who knows? Will the trope end up looking like the current catgirl trope? By then, will catgirls have evolved into something even more different? The internet and pop culture can really take both in crazy directions. And honestly, when it comes to bunny girls, looking forward to it. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching till the end. It really does mean a lot. I hope you enjoyed my very first video. If you enjoyed and you want to see things similar to this in the future, please consider subscribing and liking. I hate asking for that. It sounds really weird, but smash that subscribe button, poke the like button, and hit all the comments. Typical YouTuber things. Thank you very much, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!